So here's a Danny Phantom Star vs. the Forces of Evil fight, consisting of Danny Phantom, the half-ghost himself, and the Demon Prince of the Netherworld, Tom, from, of course, Star vs. the Forces of Evil. So, yeah, Demon versus half-ghost. We got ourselves an interesting fight here. Now, the big thing is that both of them are kind of in the same age range, but their experiences and their abilities, while, you know, both reside in the realm of the supernatural, these two are vastly different. Now let's talk a bit about Danny. You know, Danny is incredibly powerful. You know, he can phase through objects, sonic scream, energy blasts. You know, he can phase, he can turn intangible, invisible. You know, he can actually control cold. There's a vast amount of powers. Even towards the end, he actually learned how to multiply himself. Well, to an extent, and it wasn't actually, you know, it wasn't perfect, let's just say. But it's still, you know, it still counts, really. Anyway, so Danny has some major experience in dealing with the supernatural. However, he's never really come across someone of the demonic variety. Danny has always taken on someone who is, you know, who's always taken on ghosts. Now, Tom, on the other hand, it's kind of mentioned in some of the books that he's had a lot of training. Apparently in some of the official books, I don't know if this is real or not, but some of the books is that he was trained to fight. So, despite his young age, he's actually a skilled fighter. And we do get to see some of that throughout the show, and especially during the fight with Meteora. But, Tom has, of course, due to his, you know, to his demonic nature, he has, like, firepower, he has hellfire control, he can actually summon, like, demons to help him, superhuman strength, he can cast all these weird demonic spells, one that nearly held in Mina Loveberry, but, you know, didn't exactly go well for him, but, you know, it is how it is. So, Tom is a powerful opponent, and he's apparently really hard to kill with all the souls trapped in him. So I guess, like, they're each like a life. So Danny could actually, theoretically, Danny could, you know, turn up the heat and really, like, step up his game. But having said that, though, Tom could easily just come back from it. So that's an interesting way to look at it from that perspective. But Danny, on the other hand, Danny has got some serious firepower and fighting experience too. You know, you don't fight the Ghost King and not learn from anything from it. You don't fight, you know, Vlad Plasmius or Vortex or or an evil version from an alternate timeline now, and you don't learn anything from it. So Danny is a fast learner. The other thing that sets Danny apart is Danny and Tom apart is their personalities. You have to understand that Tom, while he is apparently a great fighter, he can't keep his shit together. He cannot in any way keep his shit together long enough. You know, he's been shown multiple times in the past to lose control. He gets angry. And when you get angry, you lose control. And he has a quick temper. And Danny, that's his wheelhouse. Pissing people off. You guys forget that he was loosely based off of Spider-Man. And like Peter, Danny loves to piss off his enemies. He loves to, you know, to mess with them. He loves to, like, you know, throw these little insults and jokes at them to get them riled up, get them angry. And Tom is will feed into that. Tom getting pissed off and all that, he's just going to lose control and just start flying shit everywhere. He's just going to start shooting, like, hellfire everywhere. So that's a big, you know, that's a big thing right here, is that, emotionally, Tom isn't exactly stable when it comes to a long fight, because like I said, he could just lose control of himself and just turn up the heat and fire blindly at everything, and Danny could just be like, oh, hey, hot stuff, no wonder, you know, Star left you. You know, if you can fight as well as you fuck, then I can see why the Princess of Muni ditched you for the other guy, and that would be it, people. Tom would lose his shit, especially if he brought up, like, Star. Yeah, let's face it. If Tom brought, you know, if Danny brought up Star in this matchup, oh, it'd be on. Especially, you know, Danny would just keep fighting and fighting and taunting him throughout the whole match. But the other thing is that Danny, while he is a half-ghost, he is prone to getting exhausted. He is prone to, you know, he can get worn out. And we've seen it before, that despite his superhuman abilities, he still has, you know, a regular amount of stamina. He can only take so much before getting, you know, before being worn out and, you know, forced to recuperate for a bit. Tom doesn't have that same problem. While he is a teenager, he is still a demon. And, you know, because of his, you know, non-human nature, Tom actually has the advantage in stamina. He can go longer. He's more, you know, Danny has some durability, but so does Tom. So these two would definitely be like slugging it out on a massive scale. But however, Tom definitely has probably the edge in terms of stamina because of his demonic nature. Another thing, and this is more theoretical, guys, so bear with me for a moment, is because I'm about to be a little theoretical. Because I know what some of you guys are probably thinking right now. Well, Danny can just phase through anything that Tom throws at him. So Tom could, you know, there's nothing that Tom could hit Danny with, because he'd just go, oh, intangible, oh, intangible, oh, intangible. But hear me out, because this might apply to Danny. Yes, Danny could, you know, is intangible, but he does. It's not like that, you know. He's first off, it's not like he goes intangible every time he runs into an opponent. And remember, just because he's, you know, he has that power doesn't mean he can just flip it on right at a drop of a hat. Like, oh, Bolt's coming towards me, and he panics. Sometimes he'll panic and forget that he can phase through stuff. Another thing, and again, keep in mind this is totally theoretical, but possibly could work, you know, in this scenario. Tom, due to his demonic nature, may be able to hurt Danny when he's intangible. Keyword, may be able to. So let me explain real quick. Danny has while Danny can be intangible, Tom's Hellfire and even some of the weapons he carries could actually harm Danny while he's intangible on the grounds of it's supernaturally charged and it's from a form of paranormal origin. Now, yes, you're probably thinking, well, Danny's been hit before, you know, by supernatural entities, and sometimes he tried to go intangible while being hit by like an ectoblast from Vlad or something like that. So it could stand to reason that Tom's Hellfire could actually burn him even when he's trying to dodge it. Another good example of this is that it's much, you know, you could argue that Danny's intangibility could be much like Doctor Strange's astral plane, you know, his astral form, where while Strange is in his astral form, he can still be hurt by creatures like the Mindless Ones, or Mephisto's demons, or Nightmare's demons. So he can be hurt in his, you know, in his astral form by demonic energy. So that could easily, you know, again, Marvel plays a little fast and loose on some of their, on some of their abilities. Sorry, the word got away from me. But, and yeah, I can't really transition that to Danny Phantom for multiple reasons, mind you. But having said that, though, it could, you know, in theory, you know, it could stand to reason that Tom could actually harm Danny while he's in his ghost form. But like I said, Danny's been doing this for a while. Danny didn't have, you know, not like with Tom, where apparently he got training. Danny fought from day one and learned to fight on his own. He is a battle-ready fighter and a hero at that, and he's smart. Tom, like I said earlier, he could just go flying off the handle if the fight doesn't start going his way, and Danny's going to realize that and just start egging him and, like, digging the knife on him. But Danny has to play careful, because Tom, when he gets angry, people die. So, Tom, that's the other thing, is that, if circumstances willing, Tom could be willing to kill Danny, but Danny has a no-kill rule, even if it is a demon. So, this is a really tough one. You know, this could be a tough one, guys. Two teenagers with powers they don't fully comprehend. Well, Danny sometimes lets his powers get the best of him. Tom seems to have a mastery at some case, and it could be that some of Tom's spells could actually negate some of Danny's abilities. That could be the case, because remember, he did curse Marco, and he could just curse Danny here. So this is a really tough one, guys. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Who do you think would come out on top in this fight? If you think Danny would win, put hashtag Danny wins and list off the reasons why you think Danny would come out on top in this matchup. Can't talk. But however, if you think Tom would win in this fight, put hashtag Tom wins and list off the reasons why you think Tom would win in the fight between these two. Really curious to see what you guys have to think about this. Teenage Half-Ghost versus Teenage Demon Prince. I can only imagine, you know, how you guys are going to probably think of this one, because this might be a really fascinating one to talk about. But once again, just comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.